So today on Myth Busting Mondays, I'm going to be talking about writing myths. A lot of people I've noticed on Twitter have talked about only writing when they feel inspired. And when I tap on their profiles and check out their books, go to Amazon, I've noticed that years go by before they actually end up writing a book. And some of them don't even have any books published. And they have constant tweets about not being able to finish their works in progress. In fact, when I even go on to some of those books from the people who only write when they're inspired, when I look into the reviews, I see a lot of reviews about plot holes. And this can happen when you only write when you're inspired, because let's say you have 2 weeks or even a month or even 2 months between writing periods where you just don't feel inspired. Well, in your past history of your book, you might have forgotten a lot of things that you were planning on putting into your work. And if you're not careful, waiting to be inspired, it can also become a crutch, and it can also become an excuse not to write. Like when you look at Twitter, when you look at Facebook, when you look at Instagram, and you look at all those authors out there, a lot of the tweets and posts, you'll find that it's about not finding time to write. Like in my videos, you'll sometimes hear my kids going on, and so you know I have two very young daughters, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I also have a wife. I have a book that I'm writing. I have this YouTube video that I'm constantly making content for. And I also have a job. I have a trade school. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it can be hard finding time to write. And at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. Well, if I had the excuse of I only write when I'm inspired, well, all those instead of 27,000 words into my book, I would probably only be about 10,000 words in my book. There's been so many times where I've been exhausted and I just did not want to write. I was just too tired, but I wrote anyway, and I got some excellent work done. Well, all that time it would have just been me like watching TV or reading a book. I wouldn't have gotten anything done. And a lot of people actually state that all the great writers only wrote when they're inspired. Well, that is dead wrong. That is another myth. And I'm going to prove it here by showing you a bunch of quotes from very, very famous writers, some of them that you actually look up to. So here's one of my favorite authors, William Faulkner, known for the quote, "I only write when I am inspired. Fortunately, I'm inspired at 9 o'clock every morning." Now there you see the very famous author William Faulkner actually making fun of the myth that you only write when you're inspired. Because he states in there that he's inspired every morning at 9 a.m. He's human. Like, he's not actually waking up at 9 a.m. every single morning and feeling inspired and ready to write. He's trying to tell you that he inspires himself. He finds a way to be inspired to sit down and write every single day. Could you just imagine if William Faulkner had only wrote when he was inspired? How many excellent, amazing books that he has written that is a classic and is on everybody's bucket list of things to read before they die. Things people actually want to read, but that they feel like they have to read before they kick the bucket. How many books that he wrote that are on that list for many, many people that just wouldn't have seen the light of day because he wouldn't have written near as much. Now here's one from the king of horror himself, Stephen King. According to Dabble book writing software, King believes in consistent writing even when not feeling inspired. He emphasizes the importance of developing a writing routine. Now, who here is going to come on and say that they know more about writing than the man who has written more bestsellers than probably anyone alive today? And he even states that writing gets better the more you do it, so why not do it constantly? If something gets better the more you do it, why are you using an excuse not to do it? Why are you telling people you're not writing because you don't feel inspired? Why not practice every day? Do you think Michael Jordan became the best at basketball because he only played when he was inspired to play basketball? Or did he inspire himself? Same with LeBron James. Do you think he became the best the player that is playing in the NBA today because he only played when he felt inspired? What about Derek Jeter? Do you think he became the best at baseball because he only played when he felt inspired? Look at all the musicians, the actors that you look up to. Do you think they only do it when they feel inspired, or do you think they try and find a way to inspire themselves? Now, here's another favorite author of mine, Octavia E. Butler. She's a pioneer in science fiction writing, and she says forget about inspiration because it's more likely to be a reason not to write, like I stated, as in, I can't write today because I'm not inspired. The most valuable characteristic any would-be writer can possibly have is persistence. Just keep at it, keep learning your craft, and keep trying. No matter how tired you get, no matter how you feel like you can't possibly do this, somehow you do. That's another legend in the craft that is saying, don't worry about being inspired. Just sit down and write and practice your craft, get good at what you do, and don't worry about feeling inspired. Be persistent. Get words on the darn page, because you can edit bad work, but you cannot edit a blank page. Author of The Last of the Breed and another legend in the writing craft, Louis L. Amour, states that start writing no matter what. The water does not flow until the faucet is turned on. And he's completely right. Until you turn the faucet on, nothing is going to flow through. If the faucet is turned off and you're just sitting there waiting for someone to turn on your faucet, you might sit there a very long time not writing. Like I stated in my own experience, if I only wrote when I felt inspired, I wouldn't have 27,000 words wrote in my book so far. I probably only have about 5 to 10,000. With life the way it is, there's very few times where I feel inspired. Most of the time, when the kids go to bed and my job is done, or I'm done with the trade school, or I've made a whole bunch of content for my YouTube channel, I'm dead tired. I don't want to do it. But I sit down and I force myself to do it, and sometimes I get out some pretty good work. Now, here's another example that I'm going to use. This man created Call of the Wild. He's another legend, and he says you can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. Now, there you have it. Another legend in the game saying, don't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it. Imagine Jack London and not writing when he doesn't feel inspired. Would we have Call of the Wild? Would we have all his great works? Probably not. Now, I understand how crazy life can be. I have a job. I have trade school. I have my own book that I'm writing. I have a YouTube channel that I'm constantly making content for. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I have a wife that I need to spend time with and keep the relationship going, because everybody knows relationships are work. So I understand how crazy life can get. But don't wait for inspiration, because it will quickly become an excuse not to write. Be very, very careful about using that excuse. If you don't want to write, sit down and write something, because even if it's bad, you can edit bad work. You cannot edit a blank page. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. So hit like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Let me know what you think about waiting for inspiration, and I'll reply to every single comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.